Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Quite frankly, I'm not. 4:07 in the morning, West Coast time. It is the 29th of March, 2024. I'm barely alive, barely awake. We were John City, Roseman, California. Hell, I've been having problems sleeping about 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. Just tossing and turning. Some things were on my head, so to speak. We're not grateful. We're not thankful. We try to use other special holidays to be that way. But I'll tell you something, being of a religious faith, I'm wondering whether or not if I should have been more humbled and humiliated and trying to live up to an expectation that was set upon a few thousand years ago, a couple of thousand years ago, where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be shown an example of the highest degree, and yet we still don't. We're not living up to it. Too many videos and too many comments, critiques, and snarky remarks, and too much history to prove that whatever chosen people we are, we're not. I know I am of one of many that feels like I've already failed too many damn times. And I get judgmental a great deal. I am judgmental a great deal. I've seen other people being of, they say one thing, but being of a different caliber, lying their asses off. And I will admit in my lifetime, I have. Too many damn times. It is hard to living a pathway where you have to be holding yourself accountable, transparent, and responsible because of the high moral codes that are expected. We had the highest moral code about 2,000 years ago when I'm going to get technical on this one here and apologize for it, when a Jew has to pay for the crimes of humanity by putting himself, uh, by allowing men to put him up there, already battered, beaten, humiliated, probably pissed on, shit on, yelled at, screamed, spat, beaten, bloodied, and then crucified with stakes in the hands and the feet. And you had to hang there with a damn crown around your head, spiky, painful. Someone pays a price for man's inhumanity towards each other. The lessons we were trying to learn and other people kept laughing at, scoffing, mocking, booing, conjuring, cajoling, and basically saying, "You're no damn good, so what the hell do you want us to do about it? Who the hell are you? Who do you think you are?" The problem is, some of the people actually knew who he was. We already knew who he was. But did we bother even to care? I'm not quite sure about that one. We had examples taught to a few people who are going to be demonstrating that and hopefully spreading the word, hopefully spreading the example. Maybe at a point, a few hundred several hundred years afterwards that someone actually said, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I control the empire now, but, back then, I really didn't care about you, but maybe I should. And just allow this understanding, this teachings, to be inclusive with our own philosophies. And teach the world what it is to be of a follower of a murdered and defiled Jew. It isn't easy to talk about a religious holiday or religious celebration or of a worship without trying to find the political, and everybody else would be doing the same things as they did just when it was getting started. I'm not going to mention the name just yet, but we all would know what it would mean of all the examples I've used. For those of the faith, they know it. But would he even acknowledge that the parents were of Jewish faith, of upbringing, of bloodline? And so was the son. So now we have this thing called Easter. Prior to that, we had this thing called Christmas. Christmas was the birth of this child. And there was Magi coming across the waves, following this light, guiding them and a few other people to this shabbily constructed but covered manger. This place where animals just hang out and live. And this is where this kid was born. If we're talking about being born in a dumpster of sorts, the lowest quality ever, lowest denomination ever. You would have thought that this kid, who the hell is this kid here? Some people looked at the kid with a hell of a lot better eyes. More humanity, compassion, but more than that, hope. And holding on to an ideal, an idealism of something that was emanating. Not just looking at a kid who was born in the gutters. It was like, oh God, what is this kid? No, because this particular kid grows up. And as much as he tried to teach the world to sing one way or another, we as humanity treated him back worse because we thought we knew better. God promised not to wipe us out when it came down for a flood, so he could try again with humanity. Toppling a tower didn't work. Blasting out a couple of cities didn't work. Might as well flood the plain and then try to start up with life again. Only to have this one kid who was supposed to have the hopes and dreams of even far beyond instilled in him, trying to teach us something about ourselves and maybe look a little bit beyond ourselves. No, that wasn't going to work, was it? No, because who the hell was this damn kid? Who was this man? Who was this guy? He's just a Jew. What did he meant to people? All this gobbledygook. We got the Roman Empire to deal with. We got an empire to deal with. We have this kind of idealism to the sword. We got this sword to our backs and our necks and everywhere else. But we're still living by the Old Testament here. You understand that? What is this kid trying to teach us? What is this young man trying to be to us? Who the hell is this gutter tramp? He's Jewish. At this point, this is what people were thinking and feeling back then. And unfortunately, these days as well. But it's weird reversal on this point of view in this day and age. We think we know better. We think we're smarter. We think we're better. We have the same damn idealism and the same neuroticy. We're neurotic. We're out of our skull. We're out of our humanity. And we'll treat people the same way. Case in point, we've got countries trying to kill each other, trying to do genocide. One country demands it, one type of people demands it from another type of people. And just never stops. It never stops. It's like I'm seeing this thing all over again. It doesn't matter which particular form or context, it's the same thing being repeated over and over again. We as humans keep forgetting and failing to learn history and keep trying to understand it. Keep trying to understand the lessons. We don't understand the lessons. We don't want to understand the lessons. We mutate the damn lessons to fit our own damn things instead of what it was. What we were trying to. What were we trying? This is Good Friday. This is an anniversary in a calendar day called Good Friday. And this particular leap year we have. The holiday season is a bit mixed up in the Jewish calendar because of the leap year we have. We have Easter coming up before we have Passover. It's supposed to be Passover before Easter. Passover was Wednesday. In my book, it was supposed to be Wednesday. Because then it was the last meal. It was the last meal consisted of other things, but there was bread and wine. Bread was supposed to be a body, and the wine represented blood. We were supposed to eat and drink. You're supposed to remember that. I failed in that aspect. I'm well overdue on it. Yesterday was an anniversary of Christ getting betrayed by Judas. Hauled away. And the torture began. And humiliations. Denial 3 times from a staunch supporter, a staunch follower. Because he feared that he would be going through the same thing. Sometimes I wonder if it was God's way of trying to protect him by allowing him that cover-up. But I suppose he had to spend a lot of time to reconcile with that and trying to make amends to it on a constant basis. And we have an anniversary, nearly 2,000 years, of a Jew trying to save humanity. We have a Jew and his council of people in this time zone trying to do genocide. We have so much anger and hatred. It's worse than Islamophobia or anti-Semitism. Doesn't matter. We wear it proudly as a coat. We wear it proudly with coat of arms on it, with insignias all over it. And we think we're safe with it. We think we're okay with it. We declare patriotism to it. We declare fealty to it. Everything that matters. Everything that we think that matters. Drives me crazy as I try to do traditions of my family to never forget what the holiday season is supposed to have been. And I was trying to dig out the holiday movies to see. I think I said something about it in my earlier videos. And it was harder to watch this time. Not because of the repetition of it. It's not the reputation or the repetition. The constant seeing it over and over again. It was harder to see it because of things that are happening in this world that I'm not quite so sure if I can watch them again. Because I am disgusted with humanity. A friend of mine wanted to help get me out of my funk. Invited me over for, let's just say, a romp through some other plane of existence. If my friend was watching, I appreciate the offer, but it's not him. It's me. A holiday season like this, I'm trying to get through. It's not the holiday season itself. It's not things concerning about mourning and grieving, even though that's part of it. But I feel this kind of disconnect with humanity. I do the facade left and right with people, left and right. Try to show people, yeah, I'm somewhat okay and I'm struggling like crazy, but I can smile and laugh and give people a hug when they need it or when they're asking for it. Because I know sometimes I need a human contact. But in dealing with a fantasy level of an alternate reality, it's bad enough dealing with this reality that I got to go into another reality and be accustomed and comfortable with that. It's bad enough I've got a video game that I can go off to different planets and pretend either I'm a good guy or I'm going to be the worst nightmare anybody else's know. And just wipe out zeros and ones at a click of a mouse. I start to think more and more of this world. And it's hard to find alternatives just to deal with it. It's easy enough to run away from it. And it's hard enough to deal with the misery that's happening all around us. We needed to have something to give us an alternative or a different viewpoint. But I'm having a hard time doing that this season. As you know, I take care of a dog, and she was having a conniption fit last night. Worst that I've ever seen. We think about conniption fits being angry, but she was whining in fear. There was something outside, or maybe something in here that she didn't like. She wasn't barking. She'd be even coming up to me, whining and saying that she wanted me to hold her for a while, and then put her down on the floor, see if she's all right. Get her fed, get her taken care of. Maybe it was medical, maybe it wasn't, but she wasn't whining all night. At least not when she got settled down to sleep a little bit. No, but something of the nature is not right here either. Probably people probably call it fear and paranoia. Maybe that's not it. I'm not psychically in tune to any other voices or any other kind of feelings of temperature. If you're going to be stressing on that point, no, that's not it. Something of changes that are happening these days that I'm not quite sure of these days. And I'm having a hard time trying to reconcile also my faith, my belief, my understanding. Not just the decency of man, but how those forces that placed someone in our lives to try to make a difference one way or another. And are we making a difference because of this individual who got placed in our lives? Did we actually understand what he was trying to talk to us about? They had books translated throughout the centuries, and we still can't get it right. Because we're using it to kill each other with it and justify it. I can't I can't follow the logic in that one. I cannot. And yes, when I started opening up this particular video, it probably sounded like I was going to be turning into one of those kind of people. And I was doing it to make a point. Because sometimes I have to hold on to what little faith and understanding of it I have because it's getting so damn warped. And getting uglier every second. Even the foundational basis of it, the belief system, the everything else regarding it. And for the other faiths that are surrounding it, that are related to it one way or another. How can I have good conscience? How can I have a man of faith, if I do call myself a man of faith, celebrate a holiday of a man who've been ridiculed by other fellow men of his own faith, his own beliefs? Very few people probably had mourned him, cried for him, prayed for him. I wish I had been there. I would be one of those who probably pray for him, pray to him, pray to God. Forgive us for this damn insanity we're doing at this point. Because we sure as hell don't know what the hell we're doing. We're more blind, more ignorant, more deaf. Or worse than the example I had seen so many times being represented. We're the four monkeys, not the three monkeys. We're mute, we're deaf, and we're blind. But we also have our hands on electronics. That was supposed to be funny. If he was here, even in spirit, I wouldn't know how to reconcile or justify any of this insanity we're going through. Maybe it's not my place to reconcile it. If I am supposed to be one of those who have been taught by it, and still try to understand it with the lessons he's got. Maybe that's the point. I'm not like Peter, who's going to be defying that faith 3 times. I was bad enough when I was surviving a heart surgery at the age of 4 years old, and upset at God one way or another. I couldn't feel His presence most of my life, except for very few times when I actually did pray at a younger stage. But as an adult and going through the stuff I've been going through, try to do the ceremonies and things that relate to it. It's not just watching the movies. It's not just getting the eggs dyed and put into a basket. It's going to services and trying to make an offer or an appeasement to Him. I feel like I failed in a lot of years because I didn't continue it. So I guess maybe I'm not a good follower because I can't keep up with the rituals. I guess God loves repetition. And maybe Christ does too. I still try to keep the lessons in my heart as best as I can. Look, I'm not perfect at this damn shit. I'm not trying to thump the chest. I'm dismayed at me and of my fellow humans. A holiday like this, we're supposed to be celebrating, in the Christian community, in the Christian faith, of what Good Friday is supposed to mean. It's the prosecution and the execution. And then Sunday is supposed to be the anniversary of the resurrection. Yesterday I saw a hell of a lot of clouds outside my area. I live in Roseman, California. We got storm systems coming through. It was supposed to have been, according to the meteorologist, we have storm systems coming through to give us rain. I would not be surprised if we actually had a rainstorm on Sunday. I would not be surprised, and if we actually had one coming in. Even if the meteorologist missed it. It was started raining and lightning and thunder. Maybe I'll be standing outside just looking up. Because I can't deal with today. We should have had lightning and thunder at this point. I think it was around noontime that we actually had back then. Storm system came up and just blasted the area. Nobody expected it. But set out a clear day, but then everything else turned dark. And then there was lightning and there was thunder. Well, maybe they missed a clouds or two that actually generated a thunderstorm somewhere and just rolled right in and started becoming more and more acute and more. That's what I'm expecting this year. That's how I'm feeling it. That's how I'm feeling it this morning. I'm feeling so damn oogie and so damn way off it this morning over here. It's like I'm feeling the weight of the world. I'm feeling the pain that probably Christ had felt. He's utter dismay, this bewilderment, sadness beyond sadness, trying to hold on to the sliver of hope and of faith or of something positive to say that somewhere in this should there be some kind of good. Would there be any people left to remember, to care, to understand, to know, to carry on, pass it on, the message. A day like Friday is a miserable day. People look at it as a party day. Me, I'm looking at today, this holiday, this anniversary here, and I'm feeling I'm struggling with my own faith and I'm struggling with my own understanding of it. I guess maybe in the struggle it's needed that I have to go through this process because it's needed. It doesn't matter which particular faith. We're all we're all doing the same thing. And it just leaves me, I don't know, worse than sad. I mean, I know I can throw the anger at this point over here. Maybe Christ was angry at us. I wouldn't blame him. I would not blame him for this. But I look at the situation and I'm wondering, did we do good? Did we do justice? What did we do? Maybe I'm not maybe I'm not so hip. Maybe I'm not up on things. If Christ would come, or at least an angel, I suppose we're going to have one discussion that's going to be deep. Because I would need to know from him some things that I can't even voice. But only the heart would be able to explain it to him better. Yeah, that's that